Beauty Loves. So today I am in the kitchen, aka the lab, and we are testing out an updated formula to my body butters. So as you already know, I'm in Florida. We're getting ready to hit spring and then soon summer. So what that means for me in my business when it comes down to body butters is that I have to take a different approach to body butters. I have to emulsify my body butters so that I can continue to sell them during the spring and winter months when it's heated. Nobody wants a body butter when they get it, it's already melted. So for my winter body butters, I have a lot of just shea butters and oils and things of that nature in there, along with some essential oils that is beneficial for your skin. But now that we're hitting these summer months, I have to do something a little different. And before I send out any product to any customer, I always like to go through a testing phase, of course, to make sure that it is approved and it is up to the Makei Beauty standards. So therefore, I just wanted to just bring you along for those of you who do want to dibble and dabble on your own products. Maybe you want to start a skincare line yourself and you want to find out about formulas and how the behind the scenes work for this. So just stay tuned. What we're going to be mixing up today, we're going to be mixing up an emulsified body butter, and this is going to be a simplistic formula because I wanted to not only show you part of my formula, but I also want to show a simplistic formula for those of you who are out there and you're beginners to creating your own products. These are just some of the things that you can use, and then you can expand as you get more knowledge base around ingredients and things that you want to implement into your products. So with that being said and done, let's go ahead and get started. Hey Beauty Loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lakita, and if you're new to stopping by, welcome. On this channel I help empower you to show up bigger, braver, and bolder in life and in business by creating simplistic skincare systems that you can take moments in your day to love on yourself with. So girl, let's get started, okay? Okay, so what we start with, I'm starting with today the butters and the oils. So whenever you're creating a product, you're going, especially this emulsified body butter, you're going to have a water phase. You're going to have three phases: water phase, oil phase, and you're going to have a cool down phase. So in your water phase, we'll go over there here soon, but I'm starting with the second phase, which is the oil phase, because I have to melt down the butters and the oils together, and so I'll tell you what I'm putting in there as I go along. So right now we're going to be using, I use unrefined shea butter. This is what I am using as the base in my oil phase. And so because I'm doing a test batch, this test batch is 200 grams. So for the oil base, for the shea butter, what we need from the shea butter is we're gonna need let's see, at least 16 grams. So you want to make sure, number one, girl, turn your scale on, okay? Make sure it is showing grams. Go ahead and set down whatever container you're going to be using. Make sure you tear your machine out again so you're back at 0 grams, so you know that you're putting the right amount of ingredients in. So we're going to start putting the shea butter in, and what we're looking for is 16 grams. We're already at 11 grams, as you can see. So you need to be very careful. Okay, we're at 15, and we're only need a little bit more to hit that 1 additional gram. And now we're at 16. That's all we need of the shea butter for this testing batch. So now we're going to move on to the mango butter. And so mango butter, we do need at least 10 grams. And I like to use these different butters because it gives the product a luxurious feel, and they're beneficial for your skin. They help with the skin's barrier, you know, they help seal in the skin's moisture and soften your skin. So these are products that I love to use. So again, like I said, we're going to be using 10 grams of the mango butter for this testing phase. Make sure you tear that scale out again, or it goes, so it can go back down to 0. And now we're going to start working with this mango butter. Mango butter for me is such a luxurious feel to it, but yeah, you just gotta be careful, girl. So look, that was right at 10, girl. Look at you. Okay, so now we have our butters out of the way. So the next thing that we want to move forward with is we're going to move forward with our coconut oil. And coconut oil, we also need 10 grams of coconut oil. So we are going to tear our scale so we can go back to 0. And now we are going to, in the coconut oil, I'm sorry guys, I haven't been showing you the products, but yeah, that's what I'm using right now. So we're gonna use, we need 10 grams of this coconut oil. And take your time because it's easy to take your time and put the amount that you need, but it's hard to take away. So, especially when you're working with butters and stuff like that. We're at 8 grams. Okay. Okay, so now that we have our oils, not our oils, but our body butters in, we're going to tear this scale out again. And now we're going to work with this pomegranate oil. Pomegranate oil is very great for your skin. It does brighten your skin. It does build up the skin's barrier to make it healthier. And yeah, it fights against, you know, wrinkles and things of that nature. So it's a great ingredient for anti-aging. So girl, I know you don't want to age now, but you do want to age later, okay? So yeah, we're gonna use this pomegranate up in here. And you know, it brightens the skin. I just listen. And most of, I'm gonna say right now, in the products that I currently make, I implement pomegranate oil or something pomegranate based in my products because they are just so great for your skin barrier and brightening your skin and tightening your skin and speeding up the collagen. So yeah, girl, I use it. But for this testing batch though, now that we teared our scale out, we do need at least 8 grams of this. And again, we want to take our time with this. And if my arm is in the way, let me try and pour from this way so you guys can see. So I'm pouring really slow. We're at 5 grams, 6 grams, 7 grams, 8. Done. I'm gonna move on to putting the emulsifier in. So with the emulsifier, what emulsifiers do is they help bind together water and oil, because you know, you heard your mama or your grandma or somebody say, girl, water and oil don't mix. You know, they could have been talking about somebody they didn't like, and they might have been referring to themselves as the oil and the other person as water, and they say they don't mix, so that means they don't like each other. But that's basically what is happening, is that if I was to go ahead and implement my water phase without the emulsifier, they would not mix together. This would not come together. This body butter would be a complete fail. What this emulsifier does is it talks to each of them and say, hey, y'all gonna be friends regardless. If we gonna hang out together, y'all gonna be friends, okay? And we gonna blend together. That's what this emulsifier is gonna do, okay? It is the one person that's in the middle telling everybody to just get along, okay? And so that's what we're going to work with. So for this small batch, again, we're only doing 200 grams for me to test this out. So for the emulsifier, we're looking at 10 grams, okay? Because we do want to make sure that this emulsifier does hold on to the ingredients that we're going to be implementing into it. So when it comes down to the emulsifier and the water phase, and this is why I'm doing the oil phase first, so I can go ahead and get that into the heat to start melting, but I'm going to do the water phase right behind it because we want to make sure they're very close in temperature. So when I blend them together, that they take, okay? You don't want one to be one temperature, a high temperature, and then the other one to be a very low temperature, because then it might not bind together. So let me stop talking and let me get to trying to put this emulsifier in here. So again, we're looking for 10 grams for this to go in, and it's just like little wax balls. So that's what I'm looking for. We're at 1 gram. We're almost there. Oh, we're at 9. 10. Boom. And for this particular testing batch, or this video that I'm doing, like I told you, I'm keeping it simplified because I want this to be something easy to follow if you are a beginner to creating products. But there will be future videos that I do where I will be combining other emulsifiers into the mix. But for today, I just want to keep it simplified for you. And so in this particular product or formula that I am testing out, I also want to use a thickener. And a thickener that is going to work well with helping also the emulsifier bind the water and the oil together. So that's where we're going to implement the cetyl alcohol. So with this particular product, the cetyl alcohol, it also looks like emulsifier wax little balls, but it's also a thickener. So this is what's going to give it that holding of what body butters look like. And if you know anything about making body butters, that's just butter and oils and arrowroot powder along with some essential oils, you know that you would have to, you know, melt down your butters, let them set in the refrigerator or the freezer, however you were doing it for some time, and then you would blend them together until it becomes like a fluffy texture. With this particular emulsified formula, you're not doing those steps, okay? You're gonna do a little bit of blending, but you're gonna let this thickener and this emulsifier do the heavy lifting for you. So with this cetyl alcohol, what I am looking to put, because I want it to be a little thicker, so I'm gonna do about 12 grams in here. I might adjust this later on for it to be lesser. Make sure if you're doing this, and wherever you get your ingredients from, make sure you're reading the recommended dosage to use in your formulas. So we're going to tear the scale out so we get the accurate measuring for this. And so now we're going to try and not overdo it. And I'm trying to keep We're almost there. I'm not talking that much. Okay, so now that I have everything that I want to have in my oil phase, I am going to now set it down in this hot water bath here, and that is what I'm using right now to do the double boil method. And so now we're going to move on to the water phase. Okay, so let's tear this scale out before we forget. But what you're going to be using in your water phase, you are not using tap water, you are using distilled water, okay? That is all you're using. You are using, let's say it together, distilled water. And in your formula, the majority of your formula, the bulk of your formula is going to be this distilled water for the emulsified body butter formulas. So in this particular testing batch formula, what we're looking to use is 124 grams of distilled water. So that's what we are going to go ahead and start pouring up. And girl, let's hope that I don't go over. I'm at 107. Oh girl, I'm at 123. Okay, it went over by like 1 gram, 125, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so also in the water phase, all that's in this water phase is the water and the glycerin. And glycerin is a humectant. It draws moisture into your skin. So again, girl, it is beneficial for your skin. So yes, that's what we're using. And what we're gonna need is we're gonna need 6 grams of this glycerin. So basically, because in the formula itself, glycerin is only 3% in this formula, so depending on how many grams your batch is what your gram, the grams that you're going, you have to do the measurements or the calculations, I should say. But for this particular one, 3% of a 200 gram formula is going to be, like I said, the 6 grams. So let's go ahead and try and pour this up. And we already have 4 grams. It's literally, hold on, let me finish pouring this before I explain to you. Okay, and that was 6 grams. But the reason why you only want to use 3% of glycerin, because like I told you, glycerin is more so a humectant, so it's going to be drawing moisture into your skin to keep your skin hydrated. And so if you put too much glycerin in something, it's going to feel very sticky on your skin. So I'm still up in the air whether or not I'm going to be adding arrowroot to this formula. I want to test it first without the arrowroot to see how it feels and to play around with some fragrances as well. Because as you know, and if you don't know, unrefined body butter has that nutty natural smell to it. So you want to kind of try to disguise that smell, because nobody want to smell, well, I mean, maybe you do want to smell natural and nutty, but for Makei Beauty, we like to, we specialize in mental health and wellness. So a lot of our products do have some type of small fragrance in it, and that is to help you with aromatic therapeutic properties, so you can relax. So when you're using these products, you can center yourself, you can escape, honey. So yeah, but again, like I mentioned, we want to make sure the water and the oil is around the same temperature. So we are going now to put this water in a water bath as well. And I always take note of how many grams is in the water and the glycerin combined, which is 233 grams. And I cover it so that way when it's, you know, blending together, or heating up I should say, that the water does not evaporate, because when I take it out of here, I'm going to put it back on the scale to make sure it is still 233 grams. If it is anything less, then you need to add the water that was lost back to your formula. Okay, so now we have our oils, our butters, and the cetyl alcohol along with the emulsified wax melted down here. It is now in liquid form. And so now I'm going to be checking the temperatures, because we want these temperatures, like I said, to be, to be in the same temp range before I combine the two. So let's check the temperature on the oil phase. And that is at 157 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's move that out the way. Let's bring in our water. And before I do anything, I'm going to make sure I didn't lose any water. So let me test this really quick. And I didn't. Okay, so we're all good there. So now, let me put this so you guys can see it. And so we're gonna test the temperature of the water. And that's at 148 degrees. So they're only a couple degrees off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to combine them. So I just hooked up my emulsified blender. It's all in the shot, so please forgive me. But what you want to do, you want to pour your A phase, which is your water phase, into your B phase. You don't want to do your B phase into your A. You want to do your A into your B. So we're going to pour the water and the glycerin into this oil phase. And then you're going to see that it's going to turn like a milky white. You see that? Okay. That is the emulsifier working its magic. So I'm just gonna stir it just a little bit. And so now I'm going to take the emulsion blender and I'm going to start blending this. And let me see if I can bring you guys in closer. So we're gonna be blending this until it starts thickening a little bit. So I'm gonna let it rest for a little bit, because as it cools down, it's going to start thickening. So I'm going to bring you back once it starts thickening a little bit. Okay, now it's been some time. It's been like an hour, and I'm just going to thicken it up a little bit, which I don't need to, because as you can see, it is now thick like I want it. Hopefully you can see it, and it's so soft too. Oh wait, guys, can you see it? I can't even. Child, can you see it? So look. So now that it's thickened up, we can now put our preservatives in. And the preservative and the fragrance oil is in the cool down phase. So in this particular formula, we're going to be using a preservative called Germal Plus, and that is going to be 1 gram of preservative in this testing phase. So let's go ahead and play around with that. Okay. Went a little bit over that, but that's fine. That means it will be protected. Keep in mind, you need to put preservatives in things that you have formulated with water. That keeps it healthy and that keeps it from going rancid. So we're going to now add this into the formula. I'm just going to stir it in here, get it well combined. And you don't want to add it when your formula is really hot and really warm. Like right now, it's still a little warm, but it's with Germal Plus, you want to add it whenever it's like at least bare minimum at 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And so right now, the product, we're at like 95, so it was safe to add it. And I had checked it out before I started recording again, and it was at 93. So, I'm sorry, not at 93, it was at 97. So it's starting to cool down more and more. So like I was mentioning earlier in the video, shea butter has a nutty natural scent to it. So I like to add in fragrance oils into my body butters. And you absolutely want to do this when it's on a cool down phase as well, because fragrance oils and preservatives can break up your formula. So, and that's what I'm watching for right now. I'm watching to see if it's going to break up. And it doesn't look like it's holding firm, as you can see, or well, hopefully you can see. Yep, it's holding firm. And look, and now, girl, you can still be all moisturized, and it feels so amazing. So yeah, and there you have it. So I actually did some testing earlier today, and so I was able to actually go ahead and package this up. So yeah, this is what we have here. We have something that I've already packaged up, and this is something that I'm going to be using. Right now, I'm just testing this out, so my family will be using these body butters right now. We're not going to put them yet onto the Makei Beauty website. I want to do a couple more tests, see how long they last and all that good jazz. But yeah. Okay, Beauty Love, so that is the end of this particular tutorial of how to make the emulsified body butter. Again, this is just me testing it out. Like I said, I'm not putting it up yet on my site yet because I'm still doing a lot of tweaking to this particular formula. I hope to do more content like this. That way I can show you how I formulate my products. I just wanted to make this really simplified for those of you who are beginners to formulas, formulating your own skincare products. And yeah, I take, you know, formulating my products very serious because, again, I do have a skincare business and this is being used on somebody else's skin, and I don't play by my own skin. So I treat my products just like if they're going to be in my own hands. So that means if they get into the hands of my customer, I want to know that I did my due diligence and that I would use these products just as I would any other product that I would go buy from a store. So for the most part, that's all I use is my skincare products. I do have some other products that are my staple products that I still stand by. prior to me using or making my own skincare company, and I will continue to use those products. But yeah, I just wanted to just come on real quick and just let you guys know that I appreciate you watching, and thank you for taking the time to sit here with me and hear me ramble on about making this product and everything that I'm doing. So if you want to see more content like this, just give me a thumbs up. Like this video, leave a positive comment. As I always tell you, aspire to inspire someone each and every day. We're here to spread light and love, okay? That's all I'm about, is light and love. So until next time, y'all have a blessed one. All right now, bye.